Welcome to our Professionals in the House interview podcast.
In our program, we have a guest who will allow us to know an electrical comes have to comfort at home. There is a professional hub behind the curtain. Our guests are the electrical and mechanical engineers Heber Tlalpan and Marcos Medel. You will help us unravel some aspects of the electrical energy that we consume at home. Good evening. I am the electrical and mechanical engineer Marcos Medel. Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I am the electrical and mechanical engineer, Herbert Larpan. Well, as you know, we are curious to know how people can have comfort, such as going to the kitchen for some ice cream, watching TV, working at home with our computer, heating up some chicken for dinner, as well as various activities in which we also use electrical energy. How is possible to achieve this process in which electricity is generated and supplied to the house? Tell us.
Sure. Electricity today is one of the main sources of energy most used to carry out various activities, as well as industry and business, supermarkets, and of course at home. As you say, it's too easy to make a little warm and held into a microwave or turn our air condition when it's very hot, such as summer behind it's the hottest season. In the same way in the winter, with a coldest season.
But to achieve this, it's a great process. And that is where we as engineers come in. Okay, to understand this, we will be a bit superficial, since there is a complex world to be able to satisfy this service, where the process of generation, transformation, transmission, and distribution of electrical energy enter.
Okay, so how is electrical power generated? I have heard that there are many power plants and of different types.
Of course, there are several types of power plants. Of course, each one has a different way of operating with respect to the fuels it uses. Thermal power plants stand out, in which they feed it hydrocarbon or coal, which burn to heat a water boiler. The water will store in the steam that will push the turbines that will rotate the generators. This process is similar for other plants, since most share the part in which the turbines must rotate due to other energy, such as chemical, kinetic, and nuclear.
Although they have similarities, the form of general wind and solar electric, they are a bit special. They are not called power plants, but they have a characteristic of behind individual. In an air generator, to connect energy delivered by the wind and use the blades and make them rotate, which produces a rotary movement that generate and that finally produce electricity. In the case of the solar planet, the rains reach the solar cells and carry out the photovoltaic process. Well, it's an interesting part, but uh, no tell us that happens after generated.
To achieve that, the power voltage has to be transformed, increased so that it can be transformed on the transmission line. Those that we see on the roads when we go on a trip or in the city are present. So, what is the difference between the transmission lines?
Well, basically, because some transmits more power than others, so what can we call high voltage are those that have the largest towers. Since to avoid risk, they must be further away from the people and objects around them. Them those that are the medium voltage are those that pass through the reducing substation. And finally, the distribution or low voltage lines are the those that, after passing through transformer, already will deliver electrical energy to homes.
Whoa, it's very interesting. Of course, they have told us clearly because it seems that they have their home language when they speak to each other.
Yes, could you tell some more curious information about electrical energy?
Oh, very well. You know, the very energy that is used is precisely the one that is generated.
It's seriously?
So crazy. In other words, in the electrical industry, it has to generate the same energy that the user consumes because if less current is delivered to the system than the user's demand, blackouts occur or those don't allow the divs to function properly. Therefore, on the contrary, if the electricity delivered to the system is higher than the usage, we can cause damage to the infrastructure of the circuits that feed the population, so it has to be strictly controlled.
That's very complicated. As they can't complete that task. It blows in my heart and what happens. It's true, but for what there are those and chart of prediction that will happen in the consumption that the popular generate, for example. If it's known that there will be demonstration and noon, people will be stay homes watching a movie will while eating street foods like with. When there is a final soccer game, many people will see the transmission on television.
So sometimes similar happens when we get home from work at night and we watch a series as family. We use more energy and itself already processed, isn't it?
Exactly. I never will have imagined that is happened. Well, we do other activities without taking into account our thought background.
Yes, but it's something that people should not be worried about, since it's our job to generate trust on the part of the service to which we contribute.
It has been an interesting conversation about happens at the same time that we do daily activities in your homes or ever right now.
It was a pleasure to have you as guests on our show. It has been a pleasure for us too.
I agree on that. We hope you see to again soon in future podcasts, professionals in the house. Thank you so much.